These pictures of Mars scroll in front of my face. Bring me magic.
Okay, we're recording.
All right. Well, everybody, it's time once again for the Horrible Influence. It's episode 5. It's pretty exciting. I'm excited.
Stoked, man. Super stoked.
What makes this episode even more special is you're divorcing me. I don't like it.
I don't like it either, man. That's first episode that we've ever done at our apartment, and it will be the last.
Well, not the last episode.
Well,
don't
here.
scare the peoples.
Here, at least.
Yeah. We'll do this remote broadcasting.
For sure. Got that planned out. Will be good.
I'll just find some annoying cunt out on the street that'll sit over there and say horrible things if you abandon me. Well, as all episodes tend to go, we're going to start off with some space news. SpaceX. Here we go. Look, I was able to find something this week. Got to get him in every one of them until he loves me.
Mr. Elon.
Yeah, he's like the father I never had. They were basically around the same. SpaceX Super Draco motor went into another stage of test firing today. Not today. When I wrote this down, it was today. It's supposed to bring the crew compartments down to Earth safely without parachutes. These things are like sweet little quad rockets that come off the side of a... remember those Dots candies?
Yeah.
Yeah. The manned craft looks just like one of those Dot candies. And the little rockets come out each of the corners of it. They show the thing launching off of this, and when it separates, it doesn't just separate and float gradually off into the distance. This thing breaks away and fucking pew, gone. It's real impressive. And they haven't attempted the landing yet, so they just had a little digital rendition of it. But when it comes back down to Earth, this thing can just descend. And then as it starts getting closer, it fires off, and it's supposed to be able to just set down, making retrieval a lot better. You're not just relying on parachutes to get this thing.
That's pretty rad.
Yep.
They've been using those same capsules since the beginning, right?
Something similar. These, when you see it, the old ones were they were squished down. They were like a squish dot. And then the guys laid down inside there. They stared up through the deal. This one, they're going to be kind of vertical in from the little diagram that they had of it. But it's going to sit taller. So it'll be a taller segment, be able to hold more people. And again, it's not going to be this parachute-assisted descent that we've had forever, where they just kind of splash down. These are going to land right back on the tarmac. People can get out and go hug their loved ones after they got back from their weekend at Mars.
I hope they test that a lot, because that sounds like it could potentially, I don't know, if one of them breaks off and
God, it's just going to spin.
3 of them, fuck some shit up.
That'd be wonderful.
Fly off into a city.
They just hit too hard and shoots them right back out of the atmosphere. Soof. Oh my God. Bye. I have a picture on my screen of what's supposed to be an alligator on Mars right now. Just making discoveries.
Dude, why?
I like the weird part of the internet, man.
That's the stupid part of the internet, dude. Listening to the people who just make shit up.
They look at the pictures that are free on the internet and go, but I found an alien.
Yeah. Well, how do you explain this?
How do you explain this? If I zoom in until it's blurry enough, it's obviously alien. There's a rock floating in the air. Whatever.
Stop.
No alien's going to peek out like from behind something with just one eyeball from around a rock. What are you guys doing? Hey, they're going to walk up and tap it and it's dink, dink.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing on our planet?
Like can you imagine landing like the Alabama of Mars? If we'd have landed, this is why we'll never get aliens. Because if we'd have landed on Mars and they just had like the red circle dot like from Mars Attacks as their flag, but he had jean cutoff shorts on and plaid Just, start shooting the rover. You don't fly a drone out here, Amazon.
Hail of fucking gunfire, dude.
That's why there's no. They've shown up and gone, no. When they show up again, just act like we're not here. They all crawl under rocks. There was a picture floating around the internet for a while, and it was two aliens holding up a picture of the Mars desert, and they just walked in front of the rover everywhere. Behind it's like cities, and they're just like, nope, you're not coming here. You're not fucking this planet up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, Super Dracos. Giant for today. Well, that always starts off the next segment real well. Speaking of aliens, did you read or see anything on all the lights over California on the 7th of November?
No.
People lost their mind.
I didn't hear anything about it.
It's good. It's probably good that your occupation is to learn about news stories.
That you call that fucking news?
It is. People are
That is
panicking.
not news.
All
dude.
over the world.
Nope. California is not all over the world.
No, I mean the news story went all over the world. They were broadcasting on British television, and big story about it in Australia. It was fantastic to watch. It is the best footage of what a UFO would be if it wasn't a perfectly naturally explained event, because it's a completely announced and scheduled Trident II missile launch from the Navy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just out in the water. And just so you know, like people that go, it wasn't that, it's a government cover up. If you go on YouTube and just type in Trident II missile launches, you'll see the exact same, I mean, to the T, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It looks the exact same. The videos it's cool, man. People are freaking out because they see that. And it's a cone with a giant bright like flashlight style flare behind it, and then a trail of blue like a laser going out the back of this thing.
Yeah, it looks bananas.
Yeah, it's so, oh man. And once again, my favorite people took to the internet to put this stuff up because they're attacking, it's ISIS. People are, I don't know how you get that accent in Southern California, but
There's a lot of actors down
pretty solid, horrible behavior. Just listening to them. No, this is scary. It's scary. And her friend's like, shut up, Kathy. No, you just gotta stop. Let me keep driving and filming. Pull over at least if you think you're gonna die. That was the girl that got famous for it did a blog post about it and said, left with knowing that the human race as we knew it was coming to an end. I did the only thing that I could do.
Videotape
picked
it?
up my camera and documented before going off to be a super cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Before going off to trying to make myself famous.
Yeah. Jesus. That one was good though, man. It made me, I got to watch a bunch of videos and I was like, sweet. And then somebody I didn't even get to like research it at all. I was just on the third video I was watching of it, and somebody was like, for sure, a Trident missile. I was like, oh, damn it. I like believing that there's two suns, and then a simple Google search wrecks my day. I like that build up and then the utter defeat.
Where do they not have internet, you think?
I don't believe there's a filter between what most people intake and then to what they spew out onto the internet. If there was, you wouldn't let your wife go, it's a nuclear bomb on your video. You would stop that. You go, oh, Jesus, Tammy Mae Junebug, you sound horrible. you wouldn't allow that. And it happens.
Oh, man. Man, oh, man.
I feel like you're checking out on me already.
No,
You're just like, I'm gonna get up in the middle of this and walk out the front door. Catch you on the flip side. You got anything for space?
That's pretty
All
sweet.
right.
It's been a fucking very mentally taxing week, so I apologize for not coming to the table with anything.
I think the viewers they're on par. I read things and I get to see your facial reaction. That's what we should film, is just me telling you stuff and you going, huh, like that.
That's
Interesting. All right.
It's happening around me.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, then you know what I'm going to do? I am going to move on. There's a lot of things that happen. Honestly, I wrote down just so many things.
So many things.
So many things. Large. Ooh.
Hadron Collider?
Large Magellanic Cloud. This is the closest galaxy. It's one of the closest galaxies to us. I think Andromeda might be the only other one that's closer. It's called the Tarantula Nebula.
Sounds
All
terrifying.
right? It is terrifying. It's really gorgeous. Look that up, people. Tarantula Nebula. It's the most active star-forming region that we can see. We have several sections in our Milky Way galaxy, but this thing it's happening. It's not only happening, it's breaking rules that we know to be true. What do you know about gamma rays?
Dude, not a lot, as it turns out.
All right. I think they made the Incredible Hulk. I think I got that one.
Oh,
down.
okay. Yeah. All right, I can get behind that.
So, gamma rays are the most powerful form of light that we know of.
Okay.
You go in the spectrum from X-rays all the way out the other side of, we go through the spectrum of light, and then you get to the other end, and the most powerful ray, or a beam of light in the known universe, are gamma rays. I mean, this is like insta-cancer, I guess, if it gets to you, right? It's bad juju
Or
stuff.
superpowers.
Or superpowers, right?
Gotta be optimistic.
Yeah, gotta look for that. The gamma rays, as we know it, only happen when a cataclysmic event happens. Is basically the only way that we've known this to happen. That two stars go smashing into each other, and they tear and strip atoms apart, and then they form these little gamma rays. Is what breaks off. And then those go shooting off into space like squiggly lines. They're so powerful they don't even hold true lines anymore. They just go nuts, right? Because they're formed from this giant collision. That's how we've seen this galaxy. Tarantula Galaxy, we believe to be forming stars and plowing them into each other because it's just spewing gamma radiation.
Yeah.
We have pointed an X-ray microscope up to this place, Yeah, definitely not a microscope. Telescope up here, and it's just sat for years and years and years. And the problem is that the light from the gamma comes in such trickles that it's like doing ink dot paintings, right? You get a couple dots, and you got to wait a bunch of years, and you get a couple more, and you get a couple more, and eventually we've built a picture. And that's how we said, oh, this is happening because this collision has happened. Well, now that the painting has gotten more complete, we found that there's a pulsar in the middle of this galaxy. And a pulsar, if you don't know, I feel like you know, but a pulsar is a star that has collapsed into itself, right? So it's a neutron star. After a star's gone supernova and it's burned out and it's collapsed into itself, turns into a neutron star. It's in the history of the universe, if you take it onto account, it's right on the verge of falling into its own black hole, like creating one,
Okay.
right? It may never do it, but that's the step before. These things, if you ever want to believe that we're just living in some giant fat guy, look at these things, because the particles spin around it so fast it turns into a neutron up there. It looks, you turned on an episode of Jimmy Neutron and watched it spin above his head, like it looks like that. We discovered these things in the 70s, pulsars. And what we thought they were aliens contacting us here on Earth. Because we had these antennas pointed up at the sky and they were receiving any energy that would come through. And then you started getting this dun, 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 every 1.3 seconds. Dun, dun, forever. They said, this has to be alien.
Yeah.
Has to be, right? We just don't know there's a code. They're just sending out a flashing. There's nothing in the universe that can turn on and off and on and off. What we found was the magnetic field, just like you're looking at that neutron, spins around it like rings. And the neutron star itself spins incredibly fast. The density was, oh my God, it was like millions of tons per the size of like a basketball. Like if you were to measure it, like comparable. These things, it's much bigger than that, but just the density is so great that you just can't imagine how much this thing would weigh. It's so dense. It's crushing so much that it starts pulling like protons off, and they as everything is separating inside there under the sheer gravity of it and it's spinning, the two poles, magnetic poles, which are different than the axis, just like on Earth, releases this energy that's strapped away because it's the only two places it can get out. So now if you imagined that you took a basketball and you taped a flashlight, if you held the basketball straight up and down and you spun it on your finger, and then you had a light pointing at like the 10 o'clock and one at the 4 o'clock. And now you looked through a telescope at it. When that thing spins around, you get the light only when that beam comes in contact with your telescope, which spins so quickly that it's every 1.3 seconds that beam comes around. So the beam is technically constant, but we saw it as a flashing light.
Yeah.
Just like a strobe light would come. But that told you that story to tell you this story. What we found out about the Tarantula galaxy, that cloud that's out there, is that 60% of the gamma radiation coming from that galaxy is being produced by a pulsar.
By a single one?
By a single one. There's no collision. There is no event happening. That means it's generating gamma, which we didn't believe to be possible. Unfortunately, that's kind of where the story ends. Nobody knows. I mean, that's like telling
just straight
Galileo that there will be an iPad eventually. He's like, oh, that's cool. Like, we don't know what to do with it. But real interesting.
Shit's crazy. It's crazy that every single day we discover new shit that is this unexplainable.
Yeah. And we were talking about it the other day, the fact that it's almost like now we're moving ahead of what we can reason. We're receiving data, and we can say, this is the data here. And they go, what does that mean? They go, I don't fucking know. Like, I got no clue. So we're just breaking what we thought. They thought previously that it could only be made by giant collisions of stars, and now we know that a single pulsar is just generating gamma, just spewing it out in the galaxy.
Is it generating, or is it like residual energy from the collision? Like, I don't know how much you know about it. And I don't know
gamma shouldn't be, like, our sun isn't spewing it out at us. You would have to bang our sun into another. Two suns would have to get the other one that's up there that we reported about last week. Those two up there have to bang. If they bang, you get gamma. Sun splooge. I guess the way they wrote it,
it's bananas.
This shouldn't be producing. Not shouldn't be. It should be doing whatever it's doing. It's natural. But we didn't know that they did it.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
We thought they were just up there, just feeding off the rest of their light. Basically, the collision's being replaced by the sheer force of gravity pulling in on itself. So instead of having to pow two of them together, it's just crushing so hard that it's having the same reaction.
Oh. What?
Which means that guy might turn into a big old black hole here soon. And then your FTL drive will be this planet. Sweet.
Let's go careening into another fucking...
Bye.
What a trip, dude.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I've never looked at pulsars before.
I think we covered them in astronomy or something when I was in like 6th grade, probably.
It's a good time to tell people stuff like that.
Right.
When I go, this is just in my pants. Why does it do stuff now? This is a pulsar. Girls! What? Are you all right? Just zits popping out of my face. I just want to fuck something. What are we doing? Science? I don't need science. I need Axe body spray.
Yeah, the beginning of deodorant. Jesus Christ.
Fuck the beginning of the universe. I was worried about the beginning of deodorant. Why do I smell like a foot?
My mom called me out. It's like, ugh. Is that you? You need to start wearing deodorant. I don't know what that means.
Just spray.
But all right.
Start shaving. What?
Oh, gross.
Like, you're not going to be able to drive to Seattle because you're going to get stopped for looking like a Haji if you wear that fucking hood. Just bearded up.
It's no shave November. The cops know. You don't. I'll be fine. Besides, terrorists don't drive in the snow.
Do that past somebody. Of flings beams into space because I'm a pulsar. Man, really like the pulsar thing. That was NASA has, which this doesn't seem remarkable to find news stories from NASA. I found the news story somewhere else, but to get they do these little videos on YouTube where you can get on there and they will teach you things, not in such an elementary fashion. Like it's good. You know, it's not dumbed down like this is a star and it's made by Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a good, I like it. You know who doesn't make good videos? I found this one.
Who's that?
Obama. So, God, he can speak. He's got that buttery smooth voice. But watch the video on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I'm not going to get into politics on here because I like the viewers we have, and it's just going to just bomb if we do. But just watch that video, and if you don't feel insulted, for sure vote for him again.
I don't think you can do that.
They would try. It's like, this is a cherry, and if you want to be the cherry on top of America, you'll love the Trans-Pacific. Blah, 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 blah. Real fucking bad. Never been so mad at my screen. I almost tore it out of the wall and threw it against. Hulk mad. Hulk not dumb. Yeah. I actually wrote that down. Watch the video on Trans-Pacific Partnership. It's insulting. That was the only note.
It's insulting.
It's real good. Real good. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, Bradford.
You think the earth is round or flat, buddy?
I believe the earth
Shouldn't be this hard.
to be round.
There you go. Most people do. I'd say, yeah. I'd say most at this point. I mean, especially since like we've seen it and we know it's round. But there's a group of them.
Of course.
Group of them.
Of course, dude. Of course there is.
What would you think is the factor that drives the flat Earth movement?
What do I think drives like people to continue thinking that and just refuse?
And not just continue, but they recruit people. Like people go, "But that's right," and
They convince people. Like one day, this person was like, "Dude, the Earth is
super
a
round."
sphere." Yeah, and then the next day after they talked to Kyle,
fucking
the
God.
Earth's flat. I think the people who convince the people that the Earth is flat should be brought into sales positions because they're some bad motherfuckers. Obviously,
Them and Mormons.
that dude could sling. That dude could sling houses or cell phones like a mad cunt. Yeah,
D.
yeah.
So, here's what I think drives the flat Earth thing. I got sucked into the bad part of the internet again.
You do that.
I love it. It's my favorite place to be. You fire up that Tor browser, you hide that IP address, you avoid those links to watch people fucking and murdering people, and then you hit gold, right? Like Tesla's shit's out there. Nikolai,
Yeah.
not the car.
He got it on the dark web before he...
Yeah. Well, I mean, where else are you going to put it in 1870, whatever? So there's a law. They like to use the term law pretty loosely on this one, but this is like a Murphy Law style. It's like the fun side of law called Poe's Law. And Poe's Law states that when you get to an extreme, one way or the other of an idea, you cannot distinguish between satirical and sincere reporting.
Okay.
So they laid satirical flat earth websites next to 100% fucking we believe this flat earth websites. And if you jumble them up, you can't fucking tell. You can't tell which is which. So I believe that people get run off on this, and then they go, but look, there are hundreds of websites that say the earth is flat. And there's not that many that say it's round. There's only like 3, and they're owned by the government. But there's so many of the the Christians Against Tattoos,
yeah,
or whatever.
Big fan.
There's
big fan.
You know that you've even said this before. You'll watch it and sometimes go, "Are they? I don't mean this."
There's that moment where you're not fucking serious, right?
And I'm
like, we're having fun.
Yeah,
right? This is fun.
We're having fun.
There's
people that believe it, and that's Poe's Law. You just can't tell. Their satire is too strong that you just can't do it.
Dude, sarcasm does not exist in even text messages. You can't.
It gets me in trouble all the time.
Yeah. Dude, the Sarcastable episode of South Park. So stupid. Yeah, it's tough. Especially reading something.
And that's most of those websites they're memes and little, and they post all over Facebook, especially that tattoo one.
The tattoo one's hilarious. Like, don't trust this guy with tattoos because he sold his baby to get more tattoos.
My favorite one is the is the Justin Bieber one. Have you seen it?
The one that says he's a chick?
It shows that chick and it says, "I bet you think this is a nice looking young man with Christian values. Wrong, it's Justin Bieber." And it's the whole time it's just some chick. It's that one and the Hulk Hogan inside the Hulk Hogan goatee.
That one kills me, dude.
Brings tears to my eyes every time.
Yeah, Nickel off and on with that as his profile picture, and every time it pops up, I stare at it until I have to pull myself away from it, because I'll still be staring at it.
The sun's coming up outside. You're like, God damn it!
I have to make sense of this. I don't know what the fuck it is about that picture, man. I don't know if I'm looking for like a third face, or
I find myself looking for a mistake, but it's just not there. It's perfect. It matches perfect. I'm
so
afraid to do DMT at this point because I feel like that would be my rabbit hole.
It might
image.
Just put you back into reality.
All the way down. At the end, he just opens his mouth and bye. He just looks at you. Have a nice trip, brother. Brother. Yeah. Oh, Tilford, you got some video game news for us?
Yeah, what was that first episode we talked about the Steam controller before it came out?
Correctamundo.
And Steam Link, and I didn't really look into the Steam machine at all because it just sounds like a computer. Like that sounds like whatevs. But the Steam Link looks pretty cool. Like if you're wanting to have, for whatever reason, your computer in the other room and in a different room than your television, and to play the games off of your computer, you can use the Steam Link, and all it does is stream what's going to your monitor to your TV. But I
Is it any different than the NVIDIA one?
much cheaper, like a fraction of the
Okay.
price. But it doesn't have the same capabilities though. The NVIDIA Shield, is that what it's called?
Yep.
Has better capabilities. I forget. I fucking can't remember what it does. But the Steam Link is super basic, and it works with both NVIDIA and ATI graphics cards, whereas the NVIDIA Shield only works with NVIDIA GPUs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Think that's a software block in there?
Probably.
I don't see how a stream could have any effect.
No, it's just a
Because Chromecast can just, it doesn't care what you got in there.
yeah.
Sends it right to your TV.
Yeah, it's probably just a software block. I
see
they're
the point.
competition.
I see the point of it if you've bred. If you got the children's and you're like, dude, I could just download whatever game he wanted to play. Kids games galore. There's a ton more on PC. I mean, there's all types of stuff. But you don't want him banging around on your $2,000 rig. You get that, set it in there, hand him a GameStop controller, let him go to town.
Yeah, that was one thing that the guy was talking about. Is like you're still going to need a mouse and keyboard, because like the big picture mode for Steam isn't completely ironed out yet. Like the layout for,
Because it's just streaming the one from PC, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I guess another complaint that they had was that the Steam Link won't allow you, this seemed like kind of a stretch to me. It's a cool idea, but it won't allow you to have one game being streamed on your television and then you could play a different game on your monitor. So like two people could play two separate games. But
I think you'd have to have
a
dual
monster of a computer.
processors and
yeah.
crossfire graphics cards like
Yeah,
that.
you'd have to have a lot for sure. But I mean, there are people that have that. But
Because this is just basically Twitch with you having control, right? It's just
that's
streaming
all
the
it sounded like.
gameplay.
It's just streaming what's on your screen. So like if you alt tab out of Steam Link, it's going to be your desktop. Like it's not going to be. It doesn't just reroute back to Steam. It's just your computer is all it is.
Yeah. I don't see a point. Like I said, the only way I see it is if you don't want to get like a Wii or something for a kid.
Yeah.
You know, your girlfriend's like, I want to play whatever on here, you know, like Dirty Bomb. You know, I want to sit on the couch and do it. Because I can only see it being okay with a controller.
Yeah.
It's not going to be okay with mouse and keyboard because then I have to drag my computer desk in there to have my mouse and keyboard. Unless you're sitting in your lap playing on,
Like a weirdo, yeah.
Am I doing better? It's not going to be better. You're just going to throw it out the window and then run back in here to try not to
Dude, for
salvage
sure.
your fucking KD ratio.
But yeah, I don't know. The games that I'm willing to play on a controller anyways are pretty few and far between. So
Rocket League.
It certainly wouldn't be, Rocket League, way good. Better than your mom's cooking, as it turns out.
Whew.
And
Should make you slap your mama.
it's just, I don't know. If I played a shit ton of games with a controller, then maybe, or I could just plug my computer into my TV. It still seems like a pointless purchase.
That's what I mean for like us who live lonely existences. I sit in front of this monitor and I think it would look smaller if I moved in there.
Yeah. You put your TV 5 yards away from you
Yeah.
and sit back on your couch.
I mean, this is
If you had a wall,
is in my eyeballs.
if you had a wall projector, I could see it. Ugh,
those graphics though.
I mean, they're getting better. They got my buddy has a 1080p
Projects at 1080p. I'd
projector.
like to know what hits.
It looks real clean.
It's better. My deal with projection is like Buffalo Wild Wings. Where it's,
Well, the lights are all on too. Like
Yeah.
if you can get into an area that's dark, like we watched movies in his basement where it was pitch black, and we
projection
didn't
just
watch
always
pitch
seems
black.
like
There
a,
was just no lighting.
like a step back. We're like, we have projection TVs, and now we have LED and LCD, and now you can project it the other way. Like, I think you overshot. Should have just stopped it. LED.
Better than 3D, in my opinion. Were you a 3D fan?
You get that Oculus Rift, son.
That's different. I'm talking like sitting on the couch with your family with your glasses on.
3D didn't come out until much later. I've never owned a 3D TV.
I never would, is what I'm saying. Like, I think that is an absolute fucking gimmick. I think it's ridiculous.
I mean, technically, I have a 3D TV, right? Or I got to change my monitor, but my graphics card.
Yeah, graphics
Fully
card will
handles
support
it,
it,
yeah.
but
So maybe one day.
nah. Fucking nope.
The Oculus Rift thing, I think, will be. It'll be nice to have when the guys at Oculus Rift send me one for free to review. The Oculus Rift will be fun for probably 20 minutes.
Oh, it'll be fun for a long time, dude.
Yeah, when your friends come over and you go, hey, look at this. That's what it's going to be fun for.
And you open up the closet and the
When
sex doll falls out of
my-
your closet.
Oh.
And you,
I
like,
forgot.
dude,
I forgot to go to the weird part
I'm
of the
going to
internet on
shut
that
the
one.
door.
And,
You give this a go. They'll love it. People will love it.
Gross.
That's going to be the beginning of humans not leaving the house anymore. You'll be like, well, got my video games and I got my fucking all in the same thing.
done.
I can pretend that the sun is out at any point in time that I want.
You get a heat lamp.
I'm going to fuck this little robot.
Ooh, man. Imagine the things people are going to fuck.
The original ones are going to look like the old school, like, what were they called? God, how am I not able to like the little pocket monsters?
Tamagotchis?
Yeah, like the little
Yeah.
Tamagotchis that are like beep,
They're
beep,
there.
beep, 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 beep. Like the shitty
Like
ass screen.
Colonel, what was it? Colonel Custard's
Yeah.
Revenge or
Yeah,
whatever
that
it
shit.
was on
Yeah.
Atari.
Yeah. Custard. Yeah.
Yeah, Custard's Revenge or something like that. Oh.
Yeah. Yep, I'll be happy to be alive for that. That's going to be a
Video
that'll be a
games
fun-
barely made it past Pong before you were able to fuck something on the screen.
That's all we think about.
The worst. The worst. All right. You did Steam Link. I did go down that rabbit hole of the Steam Machine. Steam Machine is a hot pile of garbage.
Yeah?
All I really got from it.
Is that from like
That's for my brain cell to you.
No, I mean like is that the
Made by Alienware. Made by Dell. If you get the singing version, it's made by.
Adele?
Yeah. The SteamOS restricts gameplay down to only 14 games on Steam.
I own 100. I think I own close to. How many do I own? I own a lot.
Quite a many, yeah. Now, before people go screaming at me, it supports more than that. That it supports 14 games directly to the machine and the Steam controller. That means you can use the Steam controller and the Steam machine to play the game. And people go, you don't have to do that. Get a computer if you're going to use a keyboard and mouse, man. This is a console. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's
Looks
really
like
what
a
it's-
console. It's a console. It better have a wireless controller, and it better just be super fast wireless and let me play in my living room with friends. Give me a Kinect. Let me talk to it. It's a console. So
That's what it's being sold as too.
it's exactly, and it's being sold at that because it has a $450 price tag. Do you know what that $450 price tag will get you?
I don't. I probably don't even want to hear about it. Tell me the hardware is better than an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4.
The hardware is not as good as my MacBook
How the fuck can they get away with selling one like that?
because it's Dell.
Don't-
It is a 2 gigabyte GTX custom card that's in it. The performance was similar to the 860 mobile.
what is the purpose of even... All it'll do is scare people away from computer gaming. It's going to scare people away from Dell, and it's going to scare people away from Alienware. If you're just going to put out a shitty fucking product like that, all you're going to do is shoot yourself in the fucking foot,
I feel like most
man.
PC gamers are pretty far away from.
Yeah. I mean...
I wanted to buy an Alienware. It looked really cool. That little triangle thing.
Oh, they look super rad.
Yeah, and then you get the actual dimensions and realize it's almost as big as your case.
Yeah.
It just was put into a triangle for a gimmick, so people would buy it off the internet. And then when it gets down to it, to get the equipment in it that you need to run what we run, the price tag was $3,800.
Yeah, man, they're fucking overpriced.
That's $2,200 more than I spent.
It's past the days of it being hard to build a computer. Like
we did it in a hotel room,
right,
on Twitch.
It's not the way that it used to be. They need to accept that, and I understand that they have employees to pay, but good lord, don't put.
I feel like
out pieces
Alienware
of
is
shit.
carrying something for Dell. Like there's something not being met by the crap PC side. Like your everyday... Like I tried to use one in the office today and I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah.
I clicked save on Excel and it froze because that was too much. It's like, I went to processing, so I was using like 80% of the processing power.
Jesus.
It's like, what is happening? Intel Core i3. Well, let's finish on this god-awful atrocity. I'd say that somebody's going to tell me they love it. That's fine.
No way.
Love it.
I don't
dude.
believe it. And if they do, they're full of shit. That's one of those satirical cunts. That's what that is.
This is only my thoughts on the $450 version. You can buy a $2,000
Yeah, I was gonna say
Steam machine, or you could not. At $2,000, you are now on elite rig status.
Mm-hmm.
So if that thing doesn't come with a GTX 980 or higher, and isn't coming with a processor running at 4.5 gigahertz a second, don't touch it. Do not touch it. I wouldn't touch it anyways. For something that I don't know how they cool them. A whole nother level right there. The thing is the size of an Xbox One.
Yeah, they're
how
not
do they
big.
fucking cool it? But whatever.
They're gonna flop, dude. It's just not gonna work. Either that, or maybe they'll.
So at the time of launch, you're looking at 14 completely compatible games. Again, I'll stress, there are other games you can play. There are games that you can map to the controller like it's your keyboard, so you can spend the time. Those games will pop up, hit spacebar to do whatever. And then you'll have to remember what you keyed your shit to spacebar to do.
Oh, okay.
That to me is not compatible. If you threw an Xbox One game out and it said people would lose their mind.
Dude, there's been, I know the idea of ports are kind of new to you, but I got, I can't remember the name of the game. I'll think of it later. But you're going through like the conversations and stuff, and like all the button prompts that pop up are all Xbox prompts. Like hit A to do this, hit X to do this, hit B to do this, hit right trigger to do this. I'm seeing that on my fucking computer monitor. And I didn't even own a controller then, so that certainly wasn't plugged in.
Right.
Like it was all keyboard and mouse, and the prompts were still...
How'd that make you feel?
They just couldn't take the time.
That's what it feels like, right? It feels lazy.
Oh, yeah. It certainly does.
And I think that happens to the PC side of the house a little bit.
Kingdoms of Amalur, that game.
I think it happens over here because they are ports. Those games were designed over there. But it's not acceptable. Don't release it. Don't WB games it up and release Arkham Knight once, let it fail, and then wait a year and re-release it on Steam to have it fail again.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah. Shoot that guy in the face.
People had high hope. Well, I mean, it was still a great game, right?
For it. I don't know. Never got to play it. I was not... Dude, I will go back and play Arkham City 5 more times. Love the game. It's fucking great. They ported it to my Mac. It was awesome. Like, it played flawlessly on my MacBook. How does that play? And it was beautiful, too, on there. How does that work? But I can't get it to run on this rig.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I think it shit, sounded like it did well. Got good reviews, and then Twitch was blowing the fuck up with it when it first came out. So
Twitch also destroyed that game.
How
Not just
so?
Twitch, YouTube.
for
Not
what?
City, but Knight. Arkham Knight.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, what do you mean it destroyed it?
Within 24 hours, there were hundreds of videos of that thing glitching out at 30 frames a second.
Oh, okay.
Full game reviewers before it played just saying, I hope you fix this, and showing Batman standing in the middle of his car and driving around. Like
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's acceptable for Assassin's Creed, not for Batman, not for the Batman. I really want to play that game. I'm thinking Arkham Knight, maybe 2018. It's a good port.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why don't you
Probably-
grab it for the one?
I could do that.
Did you pay for it on Steam?
No, nope,
Right
wouldn't
on.
let me get it.
Oh, it was...
It was banned by the time that I got around to having the time to play it, and then
Gotcha.
it came back, and I waited because it popped back up, and I just sat, and then I think it's off again. I know it was doing real bad when it came
Is
back.
it off again now?
I want to say so. They definitely stopped advertising it. It wasn't in the WB bundle.
Yeah, it's back on there.
Is it on there?
Yep.
Look at the reviews for that bad boy. The
Mixed.
age restriction.
20,000 reviews and it's mixed. That's not good for a...
AAA title.
Yeah. Not good at all. So, did you read about the controller at all? The Steam controller?
Yeah.
What did you read about it? I read that it was a light, cheap feeling piece of shit. That with the movement pads being the way that they are, you find yourself looking up at the sky an incredible amount, and it's very hard to find where the center is on the pads.
The left pad I read was so distracting it was almost unplayable because the indentation for the D-pad is on it.
Yeah.
So you can't slide like you should be able to from right to left, which would be like when you're running, because your right one would be your, like, so you're playing Call of Duty. Your right pad's going to be your gun movement, native, and your left one would be your movement. And you go to swing around, and you're getting stuck and janking and then hitting stuff, and it's not a good experience. I did read someone that I watched someone review it, and they said that given the price of the Xbox One Elite controller, that they would take the Steam controller over this.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how much Steam paid for that, but that review was well bought.
Seriously. What is that? $150 for the Xbox One
For the
controller?
Xbox One.
Why don't you just get an Xbox One controller and not the Elite one or whatever the fuck it's called? Isn't that one like $10
This one's got the
more than the...
Yeah, this one's got the buttons on the back and like the Elite or whatever. I think they really tanked that trackpad by putting
A trackpad?
a trackpad.
Yeah, I think the trackpad was just the worst fucking approach that they could have taken.
If it worked,
Unless it just didn't come with buttons on it. I think that would have been the worst approach to make. But I think what they did was the most logical, horrible
I
decision.
think I'd like the trackpad in, let's say, like in a vacuum. Like if you could play it without any other issue, no friction issue, no bumps, no accidental presses. If you could get used to just sliding around both sides, I mean, you'd have to just sit down and play the thing. For one, you got to get rid of that left side and just put a regular smooth track on it. But I think if you could get to where you could slide both sides like that, that'd be quick. I mean, just drawing and turning and shooting, you would have infinite control. I don't think it's possible for anyone other than a 12-year-old Korean boy to be able to do that. You're going to see somebody smoking a game with this. Somebody's going to make it their mission. The guy that reviewed it that said he liked it too, you know what the game he played was?
What?
Civilization.
Really?
That was his review game.
No, man.
This is real nice. It feels real good. I think I'll take it over the Xbox Elite controller.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah,
Trying to stuff money in his pocket.
I watched a dude try
Steam
to play
bills.
Grand Theft Auto with it, and he was just
Just eating
he
a plate of
just
shit.
looked drunk. Yeah, he's just stumbling around, just like looking fucking everywhere that he doesn't want to look. I guess driving games it works real well because you don't have to use either one of the trackpads, so they got that figured out at least.
Oh my god, real good. Oh shit. Real quick backtrack. Goes along with this, but I wanted to finish off the performance of that super sweet Steam machine. That $450 gets you a 500 gigabyte hard drive, comparable now to the Xbox One, and I think the PS3 has the same size. But so that's the same. HDD didn't give you solid state. Couldn't swing for that for $450. And 4 gigabytes of DDR3.
4 gigs. Wow.
Yep, 4 gigs of DDR3, but that's okay because you only got 2 gigs of
GPU memory.
GPU. Sick. It was able to run. I don't know if I said this earlier. It was able to run Call of Duty, Black Ops 3 on medium settings.
Oh boy.
That was it. It was
That's
as high
a
as it could go.
pretty demanding game too, right? I was impressed.
Yeah. Graphics wise, I mean that game's probably demanding-ish.
The environments are too small for it to really be demanding,
Yeah,
right? Like,
I mean,
doesn't have to draw anything.
No.
No distance, at least. I don't know.
It's not Metal Gear
looks
Solid.
good, but it's not.
It was
Yeah.
like we were talking about the NBA 2017 or whatever they're on now.
Yeah.
That was probably the most visually impressive thing I've seen for facial.
Everything that's
Recognition.
on hardwood looks
Yeah.
really good. And
Everything behind is still hot
Right.
garbage.
Yeah,
They-
even like the clothing and stuff like that looks good.
yeah,
You
it's
count the pores on
really, really good. We beat
LeBron
the
James'
sweat.
face. Yeah.
But like we were talking about, they're rendering a world that fits completely on a single screen in a
Yeah.
single frame.
yeah.
Doesn't ever have to change. Doesn't have to. The whole thing loads in one sitting, and then it's done. Like it can. So it better be freaking gorgeous.
So you think they got rushed with the Steam machine and with all those?
Turns out the Steam machine's been out for freaking ever.
It's been out for a while.
They just called it other things. Other companies make them.
That was one question that I had because I know Walmart sells the Alienware version, right? Like the $450
This is it.
Alienware
Yeah,
one.
it's called the Alpha 3, and now it's called the Alienware Steam Machine. But the Steam Machine has the Steam logo in the left corner
Yeah.
and the Alienware logo as the power button.
Oh, okay.
So they are together. But there's like a ZX something or another. You can go on and look up some of the older ones, and there's a white one that's supposed to be actually decent. It's bigger. They're basically getting an ATX mini board. So you're running full style CPUs and everything. And it's, I think, liquid cooled. I think it's $1,800 or something like that.
Jesus Louises, dude. I just don't get it. I don't understand putting out something that can't run. Why put out something to compete with current gen consoles that can't run current gen games?
Their optimization, I think, is what's going to be their downfall. Unless they... Oh, and the Steam OS was supposed to be better. That, like, you can download the Steam OS for your computer.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be better than Windows. That was its deal. It was for, especially for gamers, it was supposed to be this intuitive, fluid, all from one screen. I mean, how bad did Windows 8 fail that they had to go back to the original desktop and tiles?
Yeah, I wasn't big on.
Like the 8 just didn't work, and this was supposed to finally get you away from this gooey little setup of just having a bunch of little icons. They said it just doesn't hold water.
No.
They guys weren't impressed with it. I went through the little trial usage looking at it thing, and it's showing all of the stuff that doesn't work with it, and it Windows 10 I guess is fixed enough. They could have attacked Windows 10 immediately and maybe gotten some people to switch and deal with a little bit of the incontinuity, like the issues with gameplay and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
you could have dealt with it. But you let Windows 10 sit on the market too long. They fixed the issues where it's dropping ports and, you can't play this or it screws that up or this card's not compatible. They fixed that thing. I don't have any problems anymore.
Yeah, no, mine runs pretty well.
So now you're trying to come out and compete against something that people have already waded through all the bugs and then throw something at them that's just going to be full of bugs for a while. I don't have the patience for it again.
Nope.
Everything works fine. The only way you're going to get that to work is if you go Steam only works on Steam OS. Then I will download it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have it by
Yeah.
the end of this podcast.
Yeah. So there you go, Steam. You want to do that, and people will hate you, and someone will come up and take your place at that point. I think it's going to be a failed venture for them.
As long as they keep making good games, then that's fine.
Keep making good games. Keep selling the good ones.
Valve's good at that, at least.
Yeah. Oh man, oh man. Speaking of failed ventures, my friend, I missed something from BlizzCon. Did you see the Activision Blizzard collaboration for a movie studio?
For a movie studio.
Making movies. If you had a sweet movie studio and it was Activision, people that brought you most of the Call of Duties.
All of the Call of Duties.
Can't keep up with them at this point. I didn't want to be wrong. And the people that brought you most of the World of Warcrafts. What would you call it?
Please tell me it's called like fucking
Activision
Blizz-Tivision.
/ Blizzard.
Oh, is that
Let me
it?
get it right. Activision / Blizzard Studios. That's the full name.
Blizzard, it's a weird thing with those two companies because I've questioned in the past whether or not they're in cahoots together, because Blizzard will never, ever, when referring to a Blizzard IP, call their company, and it will never be referred to as Activision / Blizzard. And then when you look at Call of Duty games, Activision Blizzard is completely hands off from that side. You're never going to hear them talk about Activision Blizzard when they're talking about Call of Duty games.
Right.
It's just like they're not. I don't understand what the partnership is. I guess I probably should have read into it at some point.
They could have definitely called it Blizz Division.
Or I don't know, Actilizard. There could have been
good. Actilizard. I kind of like that one better.
I don't know, man.
Guess
Warcraft movie though.
Guess
I don't know
what
about
movie's
that.
coming out?
It's going to go one of two directions. It's either going to be decent or it's going to be a fucking shit sandwich.
Do you think it will be better or worse than the first movie by Activision / Blizzard Studios, which is the Call of Duty movie?
What?
What?
Are you fucking serious?
Call of Duty movie and the Skylander TV show are the first two
I bet the
announced.
Skylander TV show is going to be
Massive hit. Kids
super
love that.
successful. Yeah,
Love it. So, yeah, that'll be real successful. The Call of Duty movie,
I bet it's rated PG-13.
ooh, yeah. Yep.
I bet Kevin Spacey is not in it,
Maybe.
and
Digital Spacey. I bet it's just all the cutscenes put together.
might actually make it enjoyable.
Might.
Did they say who was cast for it?
I don't think there's really any information out yet. Those are just the sneaky beakies of it. That was at BlizzCon. Nobody talked about it.
Huh.
I guess
That's
when you come up with that super sweet name, people just kind of meh. About the wayside. Introducing a collaboration by Activision and Blizzard to make a studio called Activision / Blizzard Studios. Bringing you great hits like Call of Duty. An Orc's Revenge or something. That would be...
That'd be sick, dude, if they did a mashup. Oh, man.
That's what gets you excited.
Dude, if you're gonna make a ridiculous movie, make it ridiculous.
Little Skylanders running.
Yeah. Just make it like
Everybody.
yeah, every character from the Activision and Blizzard library in one movie, and it's just fucking mayhem. There's no story because there's nothing that you're going to put called Call of Duty that has a story anyways. So make it fun.
Best stories in video games, brother.
just
I got Kevin
best.
Spacey, dude. I love Call of Duty just because they have
person.
Kevin Spacey.
There's not a single person who ever was like, I only play Call of Duty for the single player. I really like the story.
I only read Playboy for the fucking stories.
Only what?
I only read Playboy for the stories.
Yeah.
Same thing as
I go to Hooters because their food's good.
yeah. It's all around the same thing.
Legacy of the Void's out. Out.
Legacy of the
Got good reviews. I don't know
Void.
what that means, but I mean, Blizzard does know how to make their RTSs, and StarCraft is. They'd be pretty crazy to fuck this up.
Like to go fuck up Overwatch. Oh, boo.
Yeah, God, stuck on that, man. Stuck on that.
Beta play looks good. People like it. They say it'll never be a contender for any of the Call of Duties or anything like that, which they wouldn't have been compared to them if they didn't charge $60.
They're not charging $60, man.
Oh, it's $59.99.
No, that's for the collector's edition.
What's the original?
$49. $39.
Well, I don't believe you.
Believe me.
Believe it, brother. I see $59.99 on your screen.
That's for the Origins edition.
Oh. With sweet downloadable content, you can get the $39.99 version, but you have to buy a $29.99 version to actually play it. It's the activation key.
Well, I mean, if you're not too worried about skins.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, it's going to be...
Is it going to come with all 21 characters?
Yeah, they both come with all 21 characters.
Every map?
The Origin, every map. The Origin edition comes with 5 new skins.
How do you have 5 new skins when the game's not out yet?
5 alternate skins. Tracer for Heroes of the Storm. Baby Winston for World of Warcraft. Some pictures for StarCraft 2. Some bullshit for Hearthstone and some wings for Diablo. So, I mean, if you don't care about any of that, which I don't, because if I want to play Tracer on Heroes of the Storm, which is the only thing in that looks appealing to me, I'll spend the $5. Or I'll spend the 50,000 coins or whatever the hell she is.
Yeah.
15,000.
Here's a Storm movie. That would be dope.
Would it? I feel like that'd be like a Mortal Kombat movie.
And Mortal Kombat was dope.
When you were 8. It won't be good. Come on, man. Being an enabler.
I just want to be behind all of the guys at Activision / Blizzard Studios and just give them bad ideas. That's it. And just have them cut, like if I had a special power that made them like Loki and I could just make them do stuff, I'd just make them make horrible movies. Sweet. And I'd sit in there and look like Shia LaBeouf watching his own movies.
You guys should make a Warcraft, StarCraft mashup movie. Call it Star Wars. Orcs vs. Protoss. Somebody. Hopefully somebody puts a stop to that.
Nah. Well, buddy, do you have anything else for the
I'm
awesome
all StarCraft
jam-packed
out. I'm overwatched.
Episode 5?
I gotta pee. I'm thirsty. Might need a nap. Been napping all day. Still need just more naps. Probably go watch 7 Deadly Sins for the last 5 episodes that I'm torturing myself with.
I don't know how you're getting through it. I've heard you listen to about a half an episode. I wanted to hang myself.
Dude, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's not the best time that I've had. I've watched worse shit.
I don't know why Why? I watched The Sphere last night. I'm getting off.
That movie is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I remember it being really good.
Oh my god, dude. How old were we when it came out?
I thought it was older. It was like 2008.
Sphere?
Nah, maybe it was older than that.
It has to be.
I was
older
looking
than
at
that.
some other stuff, but
Maybe 98.
maybe.
But dude, when they're like, let's just hold hands and forget.
Nope.
I stood up and walked out like, nope, no more. Left the living room, went and screamed into a
98.
pillow.
Yeah. I almost threw up last night when I remembered because I was sitting there and I was telling Mel, I was like, I would go to bed. Like I would quit watching this and go to bed if I could just remember the movie. And that's the same thing. Like rape victims can put certain thoughts out of their mind. I must have just blocked it because I was like, I remember the Sphere being cool, like making them all crazy, and they make shit. And then the book came out, and it was manifest. And then I was like, oh man, I remember this. This is getting shitty. Like just reading a book and things coming true. And he went in the Sphere the whole time. You watched him do it, but that didn't matter. Didn't matter for the story. Just keep going. and then it got to a point where you go, how are they going to end this? And then I saw him walk in the room, and those memories flooded back. Nauseous, almost vomited, because I remember let's do this.
Oh, so shitty.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. Yeah. So much for. Let's not review movies that are almost 20 years old ever again.
Let's do it. There's going to be somebody that goes, I've never seen it. Hey, if you're a commercial diver, you should watch that movie. The amount of bubbles that come out of a rebreather will make you shit your pants. That's all Mel said the whole time was, why are there bubbles? I don't know why they're bubbles. Why are there bubbles coming out of? I don't know why there's bubbles. But rebreathers don't have. I know rebreathers don't have bubbles. I don't think they went for historical accuracy. They don't even have a mouthpiece.
They're running for monsters.
They have lights in their helmet that just shine on their
Magical
face.
sphere.
You know how hard that'd be to see if you just.
It's the worst fucking idea ever.
Anyways, we love you. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. Well, we won't see you, but you'll hear us.